today, Bill?
Feeling good. Colorado, my home, sweet home. Ha ha ha. You're self-laugh and you laugh a lot more. Gives a man confidence to hover in the mountains. Hey there, Rio. Hey there, Rio Grande. Where else, Rio, did you learn to roar? Well, I'll tell you. Let me tell you, Rio. Like me, you would be only a small-time trickle without the mountains of Colorado, my home. Sweet home. Sweet home. Sweet. When a man depends on all this elevation, he will never go away. Sky full of Rockies for my roof up there. Green golden meadows for my rocking chair. Afternoon, ladies.
Afternoon, Christmas. Calling on the newlyweds, are you?
Yep, I figure.
Love it from Mrs. McClung for keeping an eye on her party. Dollar apiece to the Denver police for guarding the booze on her shelf. Keeping an eye on her party is fine. Watching her guests is a pleasure. Guarding her booze is a dangerous thing. I better drink it myself. Dollar apiece to the Denver police for guarding the booze on her shelf. Keeping an eye on her party is fine. Watching her guests is a pleasure. Guarding her booze is a dangerous thing. I better drink it myself.
What a charming squadron. Terrace looks lovely, mon cher.
Enchanté, Gladys. Wonderful.
A lovely night for a party alone. Another perfect party at the most beautiful house in Denver.
Merci, merci. But you're all too kind. It is the perfect guest to make the perfect party. I believe you all know Monsignor Ryan. He's come to have a visit supper with us.
And to drop a hint or two about the new cathedral. Being familiar with Mrs. McGowan's pump, I thought this would be an excellent opportunity.
Where do you plan to build, Monsignor?
I had my heart set on Pennsylvania Avenue. The J.J. Browns bought it all up.
Oh, but Mrs. Brown, it simply isn't safe to stroll the avenue anymore. She literally pops out of the bushes. Poor creature is friendly. But did you notice that every afternoon she has a copper tea turned up in the brown colored well? There she sits on a keg of nails, pouring for the workmen. Ha! They ridicule us, huh? Have you met her, Monsignor?
No, I haven't had the pleasure. However, I do see her and Mr. Brown every morning at Mass.
sidewalk there before coming to Denver.
Mrs. McGlone, if any of our folks had stayed in the hills so they acquired a little savoir faire, there'd be no city of Denver.
Well, true, the old guard were colorful, but Monsignor things are much better now.
Molly Brown's the name. This here's Mr. Brown, owner of the Little Johnny. It's the richest man in the United States. Glad to shake your hand.
Oh, yeah. Quieter, did I say?
Gladys, you didn't send her an invitation.
Hardly. Who would read it to her? Excusez-moi.
There you be, neighbor. Molly Brown's the name. We're the ones building the little shack next door. And you don't have to tell us who you are. You're the beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Willowy ladies, billowy gowns. And you smell so nice. Dined out, must have been 8:30. With catfish off the silver plate. Soup, 2 nuts, even a bowl of fruit. What you call table d'hôte. Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Pretty gentlemen, pretty talk. And look at them digital coats. One laughs, everyone smiles and stays. Don't say back house, say the shed. One speaks, Leslie's spoken to. Oh heck, I ain't proud. How do you do? Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Never a dog fight, never a brawl, never a knife or a gun. Sunday night there is a concert band. Every man carries his gloves in hand. Men may smoke under the silvery moon. No one spits without a spittoon. Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Aren't any gussies, squeezies, or hussies. Never a girl with a bum. How you dance over to Brown's Hotel. Gents treat ladies very well. Juice during the minuet, just in case somebody sweats. Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Here we are to stay.
How do you do, Mrs. Brown?
Great! To tell you the truth, Denver water's a little hard on the kidneys, but we love it here. You got such a gorgeous place. Mr. Brown! Come meet your hostess. We was out for a walk and saw your lights was on, so we thought we'd drop in and shake a few hands. This here's Mr. Brown, owner of the Little Johnny. It's the richest mine in the United States. Shake hands with Mrs. McGlone.
How do you do, Mrs. Brown? May I present Monsignor Ryan?
Hello there, Monsignor. Sure glad to make your acquaintance. Boy, do you spout one heck of a sermon. Here's $5,000 for your new church.
$5,000. God bless you, Mrs. Brown. God bless you. This'll see you into heaven.
Well, it might grease the slide a little. Mr. Brown, what you standing there for? Match my 5,000 or show a little class and double it.
Oh, sure.
Already took 10 million out of God's green earth. Guess he deserves a little kickback.
Here you are, Monsignor. $10,000. Sorry. It's all in ones.
$15,000. God bless you, folks.
Think nothing of it. Once took 20 times that just to warm JJ's backside. Gladys, Gladys, you got such nice things here. Them pictures as you come in got the most goldest frames I've ever seen.
Mrs. Brown, the frames are gold, but the pictures are Rembrandt's.
Well, I'm telling you that Mr. Rembrandt can really put on the paint.
Mrs. Brown, true celebrities are referred to by their last names only. Rembrandt, Shakespeare, Tchaikovsky.
The James boys.
Yes.
I've seen that picture. Never seen one so gorgeous.
Thank you. That's my new Picasso from Spain, the only one west of the Mississippi.
My goodness. Come on, honey, show us more.
I don't have any more, Mrs. Brown.
You're bulling me. Picture like that? And you mean to say you don't have any more? Woman, that's a sin.
Maestro Gardella has come all the way from Milan, Italy to be with us this evening to christen my new piano.
I must thank you again, Mrs. Brown and Mr. Brown. You are far too generous.
Good Lord's been mighty open-handed with us, non-senior. Besides, this here's our home and we want to belong. I'm sure Mrs. McGlone and the others have done more in their share.
Well, as a matter of fact, I haven't made my contribution yet.
You haven't?
No, I'm afraid the drive from the new cathedral has been a little slow getting underway.
You mean to say these folks haven't coughed up yet? Come on, folks. Let's show a little contribution here. What's the matter? You mad at God or something? You think your prayers haven't been answered? Well, are you sure your prayers haven't been answered? Now think. I mean, are you real sure your prayers haven't been answered? Let me ask you. When you hope for something, ain't that a prayer? And when it comes true, there's your answer there. Don't you dare to say that the Lord don't hear you. Oh, ho, he sees every move you make, every waggle of your head, every wink of your eye. It's his laugh you're laughing, his tears you cry. You may not know how to pray, but he loves you when you try. So raise your voices high and the Lord will hear you. Oh, ho, he sees each move and every wink of your eye. So raise your voices high and the Lord will hear you. Are you sure that you haven't been answered? Now think. Are you dead sure that you haven't been answered? Now think. When you smile with happiness on your face, that smile is there by heavenly grace. So take your place in the line when the Lord comes near you. Oh, ho, you think that you make your own good luck with a wave and a wiggle of your toe. Well, you better think again. You're not that good, you know. Your luck was sent from way up high for you to share below. So open up your heart and the Lord will cheer you. Oh, you cannot make luck by wiggling your toe. Just open up your heart and the Lord will cheer you. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Are you sure? Think, children, think. Are you lost? Are you sure? Think hard when you pray for someone and it's no go. Don't fool around with I told you so. Your prayer was answered, the answer was no. Oh, we heard you all right. Are you sure? Are you sure? Think, brother, think. Are you dead? Are you sure? Think, children, it's your own salvation. You prayed for strength and he made you meek. Well, didn't he also bless you? Yes. Well, he called you blessed and that's plenty good enough for the earth. Now, sinner who has always strayed from the path of the good book. Once more!
Children, think. Are you dead? When the prayer is in glory, and he turns around and makes you humble, yes, the humble and yes, the meek.
And you never have to pass through the eye of a needle on a journey to the kingdom.
Yes.
And even that's a lot quicker than trying to get in on the back of any golden camel.
Yes.
And are you sure that you haven't been answered? Now think. Are you sure that you haven't been answered? Now think. Children, think. Are you certain that you haven't been answered? Now think. Children.
Oh, I know you pray to be healthy, sure. Then why does he give you infirmity?
Oh, think, children, think. Children, think. Children, think. Children, think. Children, think. Children, think. Children, think.
The Lord gives you infirmity and makes you full of the Spirit of the Lamb.
So that you can learn to feel the need and the comfort of your Lord. Amen. Come on, Monsignor, let's hit him in the next room.
This is splendid. God bless you, Mrs. Brown. God bless you all. And everyone's still sober. Mrs. Brown, you got the technique of a highwayman.
Yep, but you give the whole up a little class.
Robert.
Supper is served.
French, Mrs. Brown.
French? French, is it? Honey, she'll have to put it to me plainer than that. Heck, I'm having enough trouble with English.
Mrs. McGlone regrets to inform you that there isn't room for 2 more playsets. What she had known of your arrival, she could have arranged a seat. She is terribly embarrassed and hopes you will forgive her.
Well, isn't that neighborly? Luigi dropped in and said...
That one gal there standing in the doorway. They're sitting behind Andrew. And she says, "My goodness, Andrew Feather's changed." And he turned around, "Well, hi, how are you doing?" I don't know who she was. Just by the way he waved there, just like Todd does.
Jermaine, nothing but a squawk on that thing. Are you sure?
People say this is J.J. Brown, a valuable Redfin and almost Denver. We admire and we love Molly Brown for everything she ain't got. She ain't got highest and dignity. She ain't got no sidewalk, but she don't never ever as long as she happens to be clean there. Oh. We admire and we love Molly Brown for everything she makes us.
All lines are...
Good evening, Mrs. Brown. I've heard you've been away.
Yep, JJ and I took a little trip for a couple of years.
Good evening, Roberts.
I figured I needed him a heck of a lot more than you did.
I think you figured correctly, my dear.
Mrs. Brown, Mrs. McGlone, this here's my fault. Come visit it.
McGlone. McGlone. There was the railroad man married half-breed some time back in Hannibal named McGlone.
Oh, don't shake family trees. Folks don't like it. Just talk about the weather.
Where's your sense of humor? You got it. You ain't developing the gifts I gave you.
Nope, but tonight I'm going to show you how I've added to them.
The Count Ferranti. The Countess at the notice. Baron and Baroness of all. And the Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of all.
You're supposed to curtsy, honey.
Good evening, my darling.
Bonjour, bonjour, honey. Permettez-moi de vous présenter Mrs. McGlone. Mrs. McGlone, permettez-moi de vous présenter le très, très friends ever, Princesse Delon et son frère, le prince.
Well, Mrs. Brown, you have learned to speak a language.
Mrs. McGlone, she speaks 10 languages, and all of them very well.
Oh, heck.
Mrs. Melanie Broderick of the Denver Records.
Hello, Gladys.
Good to meet you face to face, Miss Broderick. I read your society talk every day. For such a small head, you should come up with some big words.
Tell me, Mrs. Brown, how do you find Denver after being away so long?
Well, one thing's for darn sure, mon cher. This time we ain't putting up with no Rocky Mountain rudeness.
May I quote you, Mrs. Brown?
Yes. And another thing. Talk about your Sacred 36. Take a look at my royal flush. Did you see my new piano?
Beautiful.
It's the Rosewood Veneer, original model. Old man Biddy Veneer signed the belly and everything. Mrs. McGlone's got a copy of this one.
Well, do you play, Mrs. Brown?
I was hoping you'd ask.
For our first piece of dinner music, Mrs. Brown will be playing Chopin's Minute Waltz.
Sounds like she's been practicing for at least 2 years. Why don't you shut your big yap while the little lady's playing the piano?
Is that what she's trying to do? And be sure to get in about her being a waitress at the Saddle Rock in Leadville. A waitress indeed. You know what kind of an establishment that Saddle Rock is.
You know, Gladys, that was quite a disturbance tonight.
A disturbance. Melanie, that was a brawl. It has been years since my last trip abroad, but one never forgets a place like Monte Carlo. Mademoiselle, un table pour deux, s'il vous plaît. Vite, vite, vite. Oui, madame, suivez-moi, s'il vous plaît. I wish I did. I'm afraid I'm a little rusty. We don't use it much in Denver.
The American lady. This way.
No. Excusez-moi. This table is reserved.
I beg your pardon, that young woman just put us here.
You must forgive her. This table is reserved for Mrs. J.J. Brown in Denver. She bought it years ago. This way, please. The waiter is new with us tonight. You are obviously Americans. When she heard you talking in Denver, she thought that you were the Mrs. J.J. Brown. I hope this table will suit you. Ah, bonjour, Mrs. J.J. Brown. Bonjour, Prince Limon.
Bonjour, bonjour.
How are you, Molly?
Up to here in vinegar. Say I'm having a party tonight, more than likely. Always have one every night, so don't know why tonight should be any different. Come on by and bring your friends. Just follow the crowd.
Merci.
Merci, Mrs. Brown. Merci.
When's the drinking start?
I've ordered the Nebuchadnezzar champagne.
What?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Good thing you're a prince. I sure couldn't afford a king.
Tonight is special. Tonight, I will propose.
Louis, you've been proposing for years.
But tonight, you will accept.
I'm already married to a fellow named Johnny Brown.
Get a divorce. We have fun together. We're both crazy. Why not?
Some proposal.
I'm serious.
Should have known we shouldn't have left Princess back in Paris. You always get serious when she's not around.
That is why you must accept. Tonight is special. Tonight is just you and I, and we will be serious.
I like you, Louis. You're lazy, conceited, broke, nuts, and a lot of other admirable things, but above all, you're honest.
Is that all?
Let's face it, I love all the hand kissing, and your title sets my cork about it. But marriage, Louis, I don't know.
I knew tonight was special. Tonight, for the first time, when I proposed, you did not say rules. It toast to your red Dutch roots and that lovely dress that matches.
I always said I'd give me a red silk dress. When there's girl enough around, doesn't snappers if he knows it's the floor. Oh, are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Sure you are. You're a good sport. Nice to see you.
Molly, what's the matter?
The day's come. I'm shot an uncle.
I do not understand.
It's an old American expression for when you're down. Heck, I'm downright low.
Oh, please do not talk like that.
Louis, we've always been plain spoken. We're just fooling ourselves when we talk of marriage. I'm Mrs. J.J. Brown.
No, you just talk like that to me.
house in Denver.
Merci, merci. But you're all too kind. It is the perfect guest to make the perfect party. I believe you all know Monsignor Ryan. He's come to have a bit of supper with us.
And to drop a hint or two about the new cathedral. Being familiar with Mrs. McGlone's punch, I thought this would be an excellent opportunity.
Where do you plan to go, Monsignor?
I had my heart set on Pennsylvania Avenue, but the J.J. Browns bought it all up.
Oh, that's Mrs. Brown. Isn't safe to stroll the avenue anymore. She literally pokes out of the bushes.
Poor creature is friendly. But did you know that every afternoon she has a proper tea sent up from the Brown Palace Hotel? There she sits on a keg of nails, pouring for the workmen. Oh, c'est ridicule, n'est-ce pas? Have you met her, Monsignor?
No, I haven't had the pleasure. However, I do see her and Mr. Brown every morning at Mass.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're good souls. But it's too bad they didn't acquire a little savoir-faire before coming to Denver.
Mrs. McGlone, if any of our folks had stayed in the hills so they acquired a little savoir-faire, there'd be no city of Denver.
Well, true, the old gods are colorful. But Monsignor, things are much quieter now.
Molly Brown's the name. This here's Mr. Brown, owner of the Little Johnny. It's the richest man in the United States. Glad to shake your hand.
Mon Dieu. Quieter, did I say?
Gladys, you didn't send her an invitation.
Hardly. Who would read it to her? Excuse me.
There you be, neighbor. Molly Brown's the name. We're the ones who live in the little shack next door. And you don't have to tell us who you are. You're the beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Willowy ladies, billowy gowns. And you smell so nice. Dined out, must have been 8:30. And catfish under the silver plate. Two nuts, given a bowl of fruit. What you call table d'hote. Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Pretty gentlemen, pretty talk. And look at them scissor-tail coats. No one laughs, everyone smiles instead. Don't say back house, say the shed. No one speaks lest they is spoken to. Oh heck, I ain't proud. How do you do? Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Never a dog, never a girl. Never a night for a girl. Sunday night there is a concert band. Every man wears his gloves in hand. A smoke under the silvery moon. No one spits without a spittoon. Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Gussies, pussies, or hussies. Never a girl with a bun. How you dance over to Brown's Hotel. Street ladies, very well. During the minuets, just in case somebody sweats. Beautiful people of Denver. Beautiful people of Denver. Here we are to stay.
How do you do, Mrs. Brown?
Great! To tell you the truth, the Denver water's a little hard for the kidneys, but we love it here. You got such a gorgeous place. Mr. Brown! Come meet your hostess. We was out for a walk and saw your lights was on, so we thought we'd drop in and shake a few hands. This here's Mr. Brown, owner of the Little Johnny. It's the richest mine in the United States. Shake hands with Mrs. McGlone.
How do you do, Mr. Brown?
And Mrs. Brown, you are far too generous.
Good lords, we might open-handed with us, Monsignor. Besides, this here's our home. We want to belong. I'm sure Mrs. McGlone and the others have done more in their share.
Well, as a matter of fact, I haven't made my contribution yet.
You haven't?
No, I'm afraid the drive for the new cathedral has been a little slow getting underway.
You mean these folks haven't coughed up yet? Give me your hat, JJ. What's the matter? You mad at God or something? You think your prayers haven't been answered? Well, are you sure your prayers haven't been answered? Now think. I mean, are you real sure your prayers haven't been answered? Let me ask you. When you hope for something, ain't that a prayer? And when it comes true, there's your answer there. Don't you dare to say that the Lord don't hear you. Oh, he sees every move you make, every waggle of your head, every move of your eye. It's his laugh you're laughing, his tears you cry. You may not know how to pray, but he wants you when you try. So raise your voices high, and the Lord will hear you, hear you. Oh, how he sees each move and every wink of your eye. So raise your voices high, and the Lord will hear you, hear you. Are you sure that you haven't been? It's not think. Are you dead sure that you haven't been? Think. When you smile, happiness on your face, that smile is there by heaven. So take your place in the line when the Lord comes to you. Oh, how you think that you make your own good luck with a wave and a wiggle of your toe. Well, you better think again. You're not that good, you know. Your luck was sent from way up high for you to share below. So open up your heart and the Lord will cheer you, oh, you cannot make love by wiggling your toe. Just open up your heart and the Lord will cheer you. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes, yes. Are you sure? Yes, yes. Are you sure? Are you sure? Think, children, think. Are you positive? Are you sure? Think hard when you pray about something and it's no go. Don't come around when they told you so. Your prayer was answered. The answer was no. Oh, he heard you all right. Are you sure? Are you sure? Think, brother, think. Are you sincere? Are you sure? Think, children, it's your own salvation. You prayed for strength and you made your peace. Well, didn't he also bless you? Yes. He called you blessed, and that's plenty good enough for any young now. Sinner who is always straying from the path of the good book. Good book, good book. Once more.
You sure? It's too late, too late. All you get, sure it's too late. When you're praying for riches and glory, and he turns around and he makes you humble. Yes, the Lord, yes to me.
And you'll never have to pass through the eye of a needle on the journey to the kingdom.
Yes!
Amen. That's a lot quicker than trying to get in on the back of any golden cat.
Yes!
And are you sure that you haven't been? That's enough. Think. Are you sure that you haven't been? That's enough. Think. Children, think. Are you sure that you haven't been? That's enough. Think. Children.
Oh, I know you pray to be healthy, sure. Then why does he give you infirmity?
Oh, think. Children, 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 think.
The Lord gives you infirmity and makes you full of the Spirit of the Lamb.
So that you can learn to feel the need and the comfort of your Lord. Amen. Come on, Mercy, what's happening in the next room?
This is splendid. Splendid. God bless you, Mrs. Brown. God bless you all. And everyone's still sober. Mrs. Brown, you got the technique of a highwayman.
Yep, but you give the whole up a little class.
Supper is served.
Maestro. A tout à l'heure, madame.
Huh?
That is French, Mrs. Brown.
French? French, is it? Honey, she'll have to put it to it's gonna go wrong tonight.
Mention the prince and princess didn't hurt either.
The Sacred 36 are coming after all these years.
They're gonna hear you sing the right song tonight.
Thanks, Roberts.
I'm about to hang myself. Where is that boy you married?
Dressing. Here, let me. You look grand.
I look like I'm laid out. What time does the drinking start?
Take it easy, Pa.
I never seen a bread box any fancier, or a house any fancier.
for that matter. You ain't been having traffic with the devil, have you, Ma? You're still a God-fearing girl.
I ain't a girl no more, Pa.
I'm asking, is you God-fearing?
Sure.
And is you happy, Ma?
I got everything.
But answers to my questions. I've been watching you and Johnny. Sometimes you seem mismatched. It's two roosters in a wet nest.
We got our differences.
Like Adam and Eve and everyone since.
Welcome. Everybody welcome. I'm over happy you could come.
Good evening, Mrs. Brown. I've heard you've been away.
Yep, JJ and I took a little trip for a couple of years.
Good evening, Roberts.
I figured I needed him a heck of a lot more than you did.
I think you figured correctly, my dear.
Mrs. McGlone, this here's my pa. Come visiting.
McGlone. McGlone. There was a half-breed sometime back in Hannibal named McGlone.
Come on, Pa, don't shake family trees. Folks don't like it. Just talk about the weather.
Where's your sense of humor? You gads, you ain't neglecting the gifts I gave you.
Nope, but tonight I'm going to show you how I've added to them.
The Count Ferenzi. Countess of the Notice. The Baron and Baroness of all. And the Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess de Long.
You're supposed to curtsy, honey.
Good evening, my darling.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour, honeys. Permettez-moi de vous présenter Mrs. McGlone. Mrs. McGlone, permettez-moi de vous mes très, très friends ever, Princess DeLong et son frère le prince.
Well, Mrs. Brown, you have learned to speak a language.
Mrs. McGlone, she speaks 10 languages, and all of them very well.
Oh, heck.
This is Melanie Broderick of the Denver Record.
Hello, Gladys.
Melanie, dear.
Good to meet you face to face, Miss Broderick. I read your society talk every day. For such a small head, you sure come up with some big words.
Tell me, Mrs. Brown, how do you find Denver after being away so long?
Well, one thing's for darn sure, mon cher. This time we ain't putting up with no Rocky Mountain rudeness.
May I quote you, Mrs. Brown?
Yes, and another thing. Talk about your Sacred 36? Take a look at my royal flush. Did you see my new piano?
Beautiful.
Yep, it's the Rosewood Vidiamir, original model. Old man Vidiamir signed the belly and everything. Mrs. McGlone's got a copy of this one.
Well, do you play, Mrs. Brown?
I was hoping you'd ask.
For our first selection, Mrs. Brown will be playing Chopin's Minute Waltz.
It sounds like she's been practicing for at least 2 years. Why don't you shut your big yap while the little lady's playing the piano?
Another thing, it might be clever of you to put all her ain'ts in capital letters. And be sure to get in about her being a waitress at the Saddle Rock in Leadville. A waitress indeed. You know what kind of an establishment that Saddle Rock is.
Well, you know, Gladys, that was quite a disturbance tonight.
A disturbance, Melanie. That was a brawl.
First of all, it ain't even on the society page. It's on the sports page.
It is not just that woman, Molly, it's all of them. The vestibule is full of baskets of flowers with invitations attached. All for my brother and myself. Not a one includes you and Johnny. Barbarians. I've never heard of such uncivilized behavior. Not even in Australia.
Things was pretty uncivilized here last night.
That was not your fault.
JJ should have never invited him. It took me 2 years to learn that darn minute waltz, and all I got out was 15 seconds. What's so funny?
Oh, come now, Molly. I thought it was very rude.
Amusing. Yeah, for them it was amusing.
Molly, it is time we sailed for home.
Yes, Princess, let's go home.
You cannot exist here, my darling. The air, it's much too thin.
Molly, we are your friends. I promise you'll never be sad with us. Please let us make a wonderful world.
Thank you, Louis. You're so sweet. Eight. Stupid, you did say 8. I am not. We are not. He is not.
And next, for you sightseers, have we got a sight? On your right, Denver's second Brown Palace. That's it, folks. Stretch your necks, bug your...
Oh, Mrs. McGuire, this is simply marvelous.
It has been years since my last trip abroad, but one never forgets a place like Monte Carlo. Mademoiselle, une table pour deux, s'il vous plaît. Vite, vite, vite.
Oui, madame, suivez-moi, s'il vous plaît. I wish I could do that.
I'm afraid I'm a little rusty. We don't use it much in Denver.
This is the American lady. Oh, this way.
No. Excuse me, ma'am. This table's reserved.
I beg your pardon, that young woman just put us here.
You must forgive her. This table is reserved for Mrs. J.J. Brown of Denver. She bought it years ago. This way, please. The waitress is new with us tonight. You are obviously Americans, but she heard you talking of Denver. She thought that you were the Mrs. J.J. Brown of Denver. I hope this will be acceptable. Ah, bonjour, Mrs. J.J. Brown. Bonjour, Prince Tillon.
Bonjour.
Hello, Molly, how are you?
Up to hair and vinegar. Say I'm having a party tonight, more than likely. I end up having one every night, so I don't see why tonight should be any different. Come on over and bring your friends. Just follow the crowd.
I see. Merci, Mrs. Brown. Merci.
When's the drinking start?
I have ordered a Nebuchadnezzar champagne.
A Nebuchadnezzar what?
A Nebuchadnezzar, mon chef.
Good thing you're a prince. I sure couldn't afford a king.
Tonight is special. Tonight, I will propose.
Louis, you've been proposing for years.
But tonight, you will accept.
I'm already married to a fellow named Johnny Brown.
Get a divorce. We have fun together. We're both crazy, why not?
Some proposal.
I'm serious.
You knew I shouldn't have left the princess back in Paris. You always get serious when she's not around.
That is why you must accept. Tonight is special. Tonight is just you and I. We will be serious.
I like you, Louis. You're lazy, conceited, broke nuts, and a lot of other admirable things. But above all, you're honest.
Is that all?
Let's face it. I love all the hand kissing, and you're tied to such my cork about it. But marriage? Louis, I don't know.
I knew tonight was special. Tonight, for the first time, when I proposed, you did not say, boo. A toast to your red Dutch blue and that lovely dress that matches.
I always said I'd get me a red silk dress. When there's girl enough on me to wear one.
And may I say, there is girl enough on you to wear one.
I was hoping somebody noticed.
Molly, there is never anything about you I do not notice. Never mind. Let me whisper dolce far niente, my darling. Let me whisper dolce far niente, my love. Let me hold you in my arms until the night wears long. Let me dream and fall in love to find you ready. Whisper dolce, dolce, sweet, sweet, my darling. Oriente, Will we marry?
Sure, why not?
Autumn's, Madame et Messieurs. A toast to the beautiful Princess Molly.
Princess Molly!
To Her Highness from Hannibal. Wouldn't that be a hoot? All right, over you go, cousins. Come on, Prince. This here's a princess demands low bounds. All right, let's see them curtsies. 100 bucks a curtsy. 200 bucks a curtsy. 300. Well, drop on your drawers. If it isn't Gladys Kimona. Come on, up and up. Down, girls. Hi, Tony. How's the stagger? Nose hits the floor. Are you all right?
Yes. Yes, I'm all right.
Sure you are. You're a good sport. Nice to see you.
Would Mr. Weimer and Sandy please come out? And the pit orchestra?
I'll come
It don't matter what you look like.
All the cast and all the
Getting my shoes on.
All the cast and all the crew would really like to thank Mr. Weimer, Sandy, the pit orchestra, Miss Lombrick, and the whole backstage crew for helping us this year. I mean, we could not have done this show without any of them. And to show appreciation, we got them a little